Welcome back to a further men's inner health vlog. In this vlog, and I've alluded to it before in a few of the others, that one of the things we men are very good at doing is what's called overthinking and overanalyzing. It's really interesting. There's the overanalyzing, overthinking, there's a concept called ruminating. And when you look up the definition of ruminating, it comes from the cows or goats chewing on the cud. I think cows have got a couple of stomachs, and so they just keep going over and over. And yeah, not a very good comparison, really. That you go laugh at things. Overthinking. And what's it costing men? Why do men do it? We all do it, men and women do it. I think men tend to over-rely on our overthinking. Women can do it too. Anxious women can overthink and be good micromanagers, and anxious men can also be good micromanagers too. So it goes both ways. Where I think a lot of the overthinking originates, it's the sort of the social norms. It's interesting that in our workplaces, again, I don't want to just focus. I am going to focus on men because this is what this channel's about. Women are, I want to give equal validation to both genders. One of the things that men we're trained to do in our careers a lot of the time is problem solving. There are strong expectations of men in our careers, relationships, and personal lives. And we don't want to be seen as failures. We don't want to be seen as weak. And it's like once we fix the problem, we can go on to the next one. We've got a mindset where we've got to fix problems. You go in and through the process of deduction. Why isn't that working? And by doing that, in the workplace, can we take that same method of thinking, problem-solving mindset into our relationship space? Now, we both in relationships, yes, we do have a problem solving. We've got to be practical and do X, Y, and Z. But it comes a time in relationships where the practical problem solving is sometimes useless. It's just not working, especially around the emotional landscape and relationships with partners, with families, with children and adolescents. There's a lot of non-verbal stuff going on. A lot of emotional stuff going on, but we men like the keep it simple, the KISS syndrome. I'm not going to say keep it simple, but it's not always. Relationships can be really complex. Once the practical stuff is resolved, we can move on. But sometimes we can get sort of stuck, and I think men can over-rely on the thinking brain to solve the problem. And sometimes when a problem's not fixed, there is an energy that goes with that. There might be a bit of a disconnect between ourselves and our partners, and managing that emotional disconnect ain't easy. We're sort of civil to each other, but there's an energy in the room that, geez, let's not prick that bubble. We'll just be civil, shall we? And so we men will perhaps not delve into that, take a deep dive into that space. One where I think there's a level of uncertainty. Now, when there's uncertainty, then our reptilian brain can, kick in, wanting things to be certain. Because then we know where we stand, we've got a sense of control. But it's about how do we share control with each other? How do we, when it's that intellectual discussion, I use the analogies, it's like he said, she said, the prove, disprove game. We're intellectually trying to get it across, and a lot of times that can get frustration. And, when it moves into the emotional realms, women are very good at that emotional realm because they've navigated it, they've traversed it, and they know the landscape pretty well. And so they want us to explore that landscape with them. But as soon as we're hitting into that landscape, our problem solving, right, wrong, black, white brain goes, oh, what the hell? I don't know how to navigate this, and I'm feeling really uncomfortable in that space of uncertainty. But our partners are not, it's really weird, our partners are not the enemy. They're our lovers, they're our friends. And it's funny how we, just can shut down. We can feel in that space, we can feel really helpless and really powerless because we don't have the emotional fortitude or the depth of the understanding. But by learning to be okay with that, it's not right or wrong. We're having an exploration, between you and your partner, and sometimes just facing the conversation, discussing, not converting it into frustration, but to just explore it. Your partner might have an idea, she might have an intuitive felt sense of what it could be. Well, maybe just listen to that, not take that on as a criticism. When we're criticised, the perfectionist in us likes to overthink things and, it's not perfect, so therefore I failed. How do we just stop? How do we take a step away and just allow ourselves to just be present to whatever is going on? Your partner's there to help us in a way to reach a deeper understanding within ourselves. And the more we get into that zone and get more practice at it, we can stop ruminating, we can stop the overthinking and be able to perhaps hone in and pinpoint where this emotional feeling or this disappointment or powerlessness, helplessness is coming from. When the intellectual brain can't put 2 + 2 together, it doesn't come up with 4. What the crikey, Moses? Let me out of here. Learning to be present to whatever's sitting there. And, when we say I don't know or I'm not sure, that's okay. Rather than be judged for it, is how do we explore it? How do we open up and deepen the conversation? Connecting to that emotional well-being, the emotional well-being within ourselves. That's like a muscle too. We've got to keep practicing. Have the conversations with your wife. When there's that disconnect, that the invisible bubble in the room. Don't be cranky with it. Just gently inquire. Hey, darling, I'm just picking up. There's a bit of discontent in here or something, and start the conversation to bring the energy, to clear the air, to reach that point of compromise with each other. Be gentle and enjoy.